We are Stranger Danger, and our name in the group is Infinity Tag. We start out with a phrase that's called this. I will read aloud for you. Stranger danger is the idea of warning that all strangers potentially can be dangerous. It is an example of moral panic that people can experience regarding anyone that they are unfamiliar with in society. And I give you a break to think about that. And then the next slide, please. Yeah, we have thought about pushing the limits of play by challenging Caloire's understanding of games. The way Caloire defines games is that it's a certain place that you can play in, and it's also constrained by time and space. And by making a game that's unquittable, it will be it's not possible to quit, so it's not constrained by this definition as he puts it. So volunteers, that's unquittable. You will think of this in a minute. I'll give you a picture of how this could turn out. You're attending a meeting with your colleagues, and your colleagues are sitting in the room, and suddenly the sonar sound beeps in. The sonar sound that beeps more heavily, and the frequency raises as your boss comes into the room. Maybe your boss is your enemy, who knows? We also try to put this into public places and pushing players to interact and face new opponents and strangers who are just standing in this room and people you've never interacted with before. We do this by pushing the social acceptance, what's social acceptance in Denmark at least, we know, by creating a lens, a kind of ludic layer onto the physical world, by creating a digital world as well. And we do this by procedural rhetorics, the kind of an art of persuasion through rules. Yeah, we want to play a game forever with you guys. And what is Stranger Danger then? It's a kind of case-based game with strangers, of course. And we try to make it unquittable by always making it possible for players to keep playing. So if you get tagged by a green one, then you will become a green. So you can't tag it right away. And then afterwards, the green guy, he has to tag the blue guy, and etc. to red. It's kind of a hunter-prey metaphor where you always get a new kind of place in the food chain, and it goes around like a triangular. And why? We want to make high scores to make it inviting for keep playing and ranking system, etc. And these ranking system and high scores can end out in skins and upgrades, which will make your character better and perhaps give you upgrades like creating a better view for you to to see further out in the sonar radar system. Thank you.
The way that you find the strangers, the way that you find your opponents is when you get in within 100 meters of another player of the game, a sonar sound plays on your mobile phone, and it also plays on your opponent's mobile phone. And then, as Jacob said, the closer you get to each other, the faster the sound is. Then when you get within 25 meters of your opponent, a radar appears on your screen, and you can then use that to track down your opponent even further. And then when you get really close, within 5 meters, you're going to have to use your camera, and you can then see your opponent's avatar on your screen, and you then have to change slide, and you then have to try to catch your opponent by using this ball to throw it at him. And if you catch him, you get X amount of points depending on the level of the opponent, and then he loses X amount of points. Yeah. Whoa.
So yeah, next slide. So yeah, guys, you are welcome to meet us at the top of the ramp. We'll be there after this show. Thank you.